Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I am very excited to share some information with you guys. Pretty passionate about what it is that I do. And yeah, let's get going. Right. So my name is Olympia Johnson. I'm a regional vice president with I Am Financial LLC. Our mother company is PFS Investments. And so, 8 years ago, the only thing I knew about money is that I didn't know how to, I didn't know anything about money, right? And so I was definitely intrigued to learn more to better my situation, because at the time, like I said, I didn't know too much, right? A mother of three, married for 17 years, all boys, 20, 16 and 14. I retired military, served 20 years, a couple of deployments under my belt. Um, as a logistics officer, right? So that gives you a glimpse into my background there, right, with finances. I spent some time in the classroom as a middle school teacher, and I've been doing this for 8 years, right? So, certified in senior health care, licensed in life insurance, retirement services, and of course, mortgage loan origination. So, I'm just going to cover just a very surface level type of information just to give you guys some meat, but then, of course, please know that we do more than what I'm discussing today, right? So we do auto and home. We can help with some legal situations. We also do, um, uh, like I said, legal. We do disability insurance, senior health care, mortgages, of course, all your traditional retirement vehicles, 401ks, Roth IRAs, 403bs, 457s, working with small businesses, mom and dad that, just work that 9 to 5, and as big as, school districts, right? So we are out here and we're just sharing what it is that we know. So let's get right into it. Here's what I didn't know, right? Or at least what I thought I knew. I thought I needed to have about 6 figures to become financially independent, right? So I needed a high level job with a big salary, and maybe even inheritance if that was going to be the only way for me to be financially free, or win the lottery, right? But here's what I've learned. I've learned that you can get yourself out of debt, you can build savings, and you can get on the path of financial independence. You just might need someone to help you out a little bit, and that's okay, right? Especially if they're coming with a solution. And so this is my solution. It's a book. It's called How Money Works. It's been 30 million copies just printed off in the US, right? And so if you stick around with me, you are actually going to get a QR code that's going to give you access to that same link to where you can get this book that I'm going over. And it's got a lot of different concepts in there just so that you can see a few. Like I said, I'll highlight on just a little bit, but stick around with me so you can go ahead and get your copy and you can check it out for yourself, right? So free gift on me. Now we got to talk about goals, just like we're doing anything else that's going to be maybe a little challenging for us at first. You got to set goals. So just some things that you want to think about as you're setting your financial goals. And of course, we are here along the way to help you with that, especially the number 5, just doing the math, figuring out how much you need to save. We're going to be able to get you what we call your financial independence number, or your FIN, which is what you need to know when you're saving for retirement, right? If you don't, then you're just saving to save, but we don't even diet that way, right? I got to lose 20 pounds. I got to lose 15 pounds. We know exactly how much we need to get to our ideal weight. And so you should know exactly how much you need to get to have your ideal retirement. We're also going to help you with that timeline, right? Giving you some options as far as, what will work best for you when it comes to retirement based off of what you have or what you don't have. So you for sure want to pay yourself first. Typically, there's 3 accounts that you want to have: your emergency account, your short-term account, and your wealth building account. Now, we can for sure help with all 3, right? And the reason why you want to have these is because this is what you should use instead of just leaning on to those credit cards, which a lot of us do because we just don't know any better, right? So you also want to pay up your debt. right? You want to pay off your debt, man. Just imagine what it would be like just to be completely debt free, right? And so when you are paying off your debt, or when you're purchasing a item, let's say in this scenario, so a $3,000 item, you're paying the minimum for 10 years. That's going to rack up another 2,000 worth of interest. And so you're going to pay $5,000 for that same piece of equipment that was 3,000 and is probably broke by now, right? We're honest with each other, right? And so you have the power of compound interest. Is it working for you or is it working against you? What we want to do is we want to show you how this can work for you when it comes to investing. But first, let's take a look at how we actually help with the debt, right? This is what got me excited, got me involved, got me to say yes, because my plan was 27 years of debt. They put us in this program, 7 years, guys. 7 years were completely debt free. They said, hey, come work with us, make an extra five to go towards that. You can be done in 500, right? You can be done in 5 years. I said, oh my goodness, yes. I know there's people all over that need our services and need our help. And so that was it. It was a water, it was blood in the water for me. So this is showing you exactly how it would work. You're going to get all this information, right? You know, a 24-year plan, doing it on your own, trying to figure it out, versus a 9-year plan, saving you 15 years off of, stress and worry and just unhappiness, right? Because, they just won't stop calling. You're going to avoid no interest on the no debt stacking plan, the red plan, versus 130,000 is what we're going to save you, right? Keep that in your pocket. 212 is what you would have paid. Only 82 for the same 2720. This family has peace of mind knowing that eventually there's light at the tunnel. They're going to be able to take care of that, right? So another thing here, this is the rule of 72. This is where that compound interest is now working for you versus working for someone else. And so here, this rule's been around for a very long time. It is really simple to understand. You take whatever interest rate you're getting, you divide that by 72, and that's going to tell you exactly how many years it's going to take that money to double. So in this scenario, we've got a 3% vehicle, maybe a CD, right? 3 into 72 is 24. So every 24 years, that money is going to double. And then you got next to it a 6%, right? So 6, maybe they're in a mutual fund now here. 6 into 72 is going to double every 12 years, right? So a little bit better, right? But you're anything like me, and you see that third column, you get excited. So 12%, guys. Well, Olympia, who and where do you go for 12%? Well, that's the thing. There's about 1,300 companies that are offering 12% or more. It's just that no one is talking to us about it, right? And that's what I do. That's what I bring to my clients' table. So 12 into 72 is 6. Every 6 years, that money is going to double. At the end of 48 years, you're going to have $2.5 million. Man, I said 500,000. That goes to show, what, my thought process was. But why is it so important for you to take care of that Rule of 72 now, right? Don't waste. The cost of waiting is what is going to be the raft, right? And so $1 million at the age of 67, if that was something that you wanted to do at the age of 25, all you got to do is put $177 away a month. Real simple. We blow that anyway, right? But if you just waited 10 years, right? You're a little older now. Now you got to put $448 away. Okay, so you went from 177, which, oh man, I got it, it's no big deal, to 447, like, ooh, that's almost something with my car payment, right? 45, 12, and 55, $3,800 if you want to retire at the age of 67 with $1 million in the bank, right? So here it is. High cost of waiting, $100, excuse me, at a 9%. If you started at 25 to the age of 67, you'd have about 566,000 at a 9%. But just 1 year, guys, of saving yourself $1,200, you really cost yourself $49,000. Man, give me the 49,000, take my 12. right? And it just goes on and on and on. You can see at the age of 40, because we waited so long, we've really cost ourselves $429,000, right? Man, so you can't afford the cost of waiting, especially if you're struggling now. You know that, you're looking for better things, or wanting to get better, right? So you definitely want to go ahead and start now so you don't miss out. Now, the importance of receiving that rate of return, right? Why do I want to get 3%? Well, now you know, right? The pot is a whole lot bigger. But so that you can see it, $1,000 at a 3% is only going to grow to $7,000. And this is at the age of 67. Now, 6% is only going to grow to 55,000, but a 9% grows to $406,000, right? So you got to ask yourself, man, like, yeah, I need that rate of return. So maybe you are investing, maybe you already have these accounts opened up, but maybe you're just not getting the right rates of return that can be stunning your growth as well. We look at all that. So buying the right type of life insurance. Now you got to ask yourself, right? How much is your car worth? I'm sure you have insurance on that. How much is your house worth? I'm sure you have insurance on that, or maybe renter's insurance. How much is your life worth? Now, I can guarantee that it is worth more than both your car and your house and your cell phone, right? But those are the things that we typically have protection on, and not our life, right? But can you afford not to insure your life? Well, I think no, right? But let's see if you even need it, right? And so, what's the purpose of it? Well, it's income protection. If you have children, or if you have someone who loves you, someone who's going to take care of your remains should you pass, then you need to have life insurance, right? Okay. What should you buy? Well, the most inexpensive life insurance out there is term. And that's because you're going to get the most amount of coverage for a little bit amount of cost. And that's perfect for a middle income family who, might not have a lot of money going around, or maybe for that new entrepreneur, things are kind of tight as well, but they want to make sure that they're protected, right? And I already mentioned this as who should buy. Everyone should buy. Small policy, big policy based on your situation, but you should have, so you don't leave those behind you in burden, right? So here it goes. The theory of increasing responsibility. This is why it's important to have that life insurance now while you're young, because in the early years, you may not have a lot of coverage, right? You've got young children, you've got debt, you've got mortgage, right? So the use of your income, my income is, I need it, right? I need it. So with life insurance, if something happens to be prematurely, my kids can continue to either stay at the same standard of living they're at now, or improve and increase their standard of living, right? And then here it is how life happens in the later years. You better have money, right? Because your kids are retired, your kids are grown, or you're retired, your kids are grown, you got lower debt, mortgage paid. And so what you need at this point in your life is money. You don't need a premium to pay. You need money, right? So we're going to take care of both of those things for you. And so now that you understand why you need it, who needs it, let's talk about what's out there, right? Because there's a lot, right? You got cash value, you got term. Cash value is typically the higher in premium costs, right? But it comes with an investment, which people tend to gravitate towards. But here's what they don't know: with those traditional plans, you can receive your cash value or your life insurance, but not both, right? It's pretty crazy that I've actually had this myself. And I said, man, no, there's no way. But sure enough, he pulled up my policy. It was all over there in black and white. It wasn't even in fine print, right? It was just there. I just never had opened up my policy to read. So a free policy look is what we are offering as well. Again, opportunity for you to get your information, see if you fall into that bracket. And then, of course, but more importantly, to be able to find the alternative, right? The way to fix it. So that's what we are. We are fixers here. right? And so you have your lower initial premium, so you're going to get more coverage for less cost, and you're going to keep your investment separate so you can guarantee that your family is going to get the coverage and the investments that you save. And it's pure death protection, right? We don't need to make it fancy. We don't need to make it, sound amazing, right? You pass away, they pay. It's very, very simple. We don't need all the other extra stuff that we tend to put behind it. So never buy insurance as an investment, right? That's my foot stomper, as we say in the military. Never buy insurance as an investor. Insurance is insurance. Investing is investing. You should never combine the two. And so here it is. You got whole life insurance, 100,000 of a whole life policy, and they've got 123 monthly premium. Okay. Now here, remember, it's a cash value, and right? You don't have to take my word for it, right? Let's set up a Zoom and let's show you that, wow, this stuff really is in my own policy. 100,000 is what they had at 100 years in this whole life, universal, variable, so on and so forth type of policy. But what we were able to do with them is we more than double that coverage to 300,000. And they're only paying $58 for it. Oh my goodness, that is amazing right there. And now you're able to take the rest of that money, that 728 a year, and put it into a true investment, right? And so you've got 3, 6, and 9. So you know exactly how much you covered when, um, for the same price, right? For the same price. And so here it is. For me, it was a no-brainer. I switched immediately, and it's pretty amazing. So that's my time, guys. I am, I'm trying to keep it under the time limit there. I hope you learned something. I hope you were able to take away something. Please get a hold of me. You got my QR code right there. This is where that free How Money Works books is. If you liked what we talked about today, you are going to love the rest of the content in that book. So please go ahead and use that QR code. Get yourself a free copy of that book. You'll also be able to book with me, if you have any questions or whatever the case may be. I am your girl, Olympia Johnson. I am financial, and you have a great day. Fly high, guys. Fly high.